What does it take to become a Kung Fu master? Kung Fu is one of the oldest and most popular martial arts styles in the world. It is a martial arts style whose focus is not only on fighting, but on the overall well-being and health of the practitioners. Although Kung Fu is popular as a martial arts in Western societies, the name itself means more than that. Kung Fu is also any skill that requires hard work and practice to achieve. But in general, Kung Fu is an umbrella term used to describe a wide variety of martial arts systems that originated in China. In this video, we'll be talking about the various techniques of Kung Fu and how long it takes to become a master. So make sure you watch until the end to find out what you need to do and how long it would take for you to become a Kung Fu master. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Brutal TV and hit the bell icon to get notified when we next post an interesting video like this one. Legend has it that the Kung Fu is older than 4,000 years. Many believe that it originated during the Qia dynasty under the reign of the Yellow Emperor, a legendary figure in Chinese culture. The art has a rich history deeply rooted in old Chinese philosophies and traditions. Tracing the history of Kung Fu is difficult because most of the early teachings were never recorded, and some of them have been lost over the years. However, the first institutionalized Chinese martial arts that resemble the present-day Kung Fu can be traced back to the establishment of the Shaolin Temple. One of the earliest monks who preached in the temple, called Bodhidharma, was said to have trained other monks in the temple, thereby leading to the creation of the Shaolin Kung Fu. Although the earlier physical training was aimed at helping the monks improve their general fitness and well-being, it soon evolved into a systemized way of fighting. Over the years, different Shaolin monks began to develop their own fighting systems, which soon led to variations in styles depending on their location. In addition, each fighting system was influenced by different philosophies, religions, and cultures of early practitioners. And that is why today, Kung Fu is not just a single martial arts style, but several distinctive fighting styles developed over many centuries. Although Kung Fu has gradually spread beyond China since its invention, its popularity rapidly grew in the 20th century when actors like Bruce Lee appeared in martial arts movies. We have other actors like Jet Li as well as Jackie Chan who introduced humor into martial arts movies. It is impossible to cover all the hundreds of different Kung Fu styles in one video, but some of the more popular styles include Hemi Quan, Wu Dang Quan, several animal styles, and of course, Shaolin Kung Fu. Of all these styles, Shaolin Kung Fu is the most famous, and it has been represented in several movies. While there are several differences in each style, they all share a common form of training, which includes the following components: basic, forms, applications, and weapons. However, the emphasis on each component also depends on the style of Kung Fu you're learning. The first component, which is the basic, is usually the easiest, but students cannot progress to more advanced stages without mastering the basic training. In this stage, you will be taught the rudimentary techniques of the arts, such as stances, meditation, as well as exercises to develop your physical and mental strength. Although you cannot progress to the next stage without mastering the basics, it is one training that you will continue to do throughout your lifetime. For instance, stance training is practiced repeatedly to become part of you. It is also important to note that many movements in Kung Fu were modeled after animal fighting styles. Some fighting styles mimic the movements of animals such as tigers, leopards, snakes, dragons, cranes, and almost any other animal you can imagine. The basic training also helps practitioners learn how to emulate the tactics of these animals. Furthermore, the basic training involves meditation, which helps you develop superior focus and mental clarity. This is a form of training that every Kung Fu practitioner must continue to practice throughout their lifetime. Once you've mastered the basic training in Kung Fu, the next stage is mastering the various forms. In other words, it means practicing a series of predetermined movements repeatedly. Although some forms performed may not be useful in real combat, they prepare you for when you will be faced with an opponent. They help you build flexibility and speed. Another important training is the use of weapons. Weapons are considered an extension of the body, but students are usually not exposed to weapon training until they are proficient with the basic training and the various forms. Finally, the students are allowed to apply the training that they have received in non-combat drills and sparring with an opponent. The application will depend on the style of Kung Fu, but they are usually regulated to minimize the risk of serious injury among students. Now that you've learned the history of Kung Fu and the different training required to master the art, the next question you probably have right now is how long it takes to become a Kung Fu master. There is no specific timeline for this, but most Shaolin monks who enter the temple at age 5 become Kung Fu masters by the time they graduate at around age 25. However, you do not need to register in a Shaolin temple or become a monk before you can master the arts. You need to dedicate enough time every day to practice the different moves and meditate. If you are consistent, you should attain a level of perfection in 2 to 3 years. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more interesting videos.